Hi, Coach Murphy here. So, Dan Pena, the $50 billion man, has coined this phrase, snowflakes. It would love to share what my findings are in the work I do and what my recommendations are on not only how to break the cycles that might exist, but also how to avoid raising snowflakes in this new generation. And these are some of my talking points or some of my suggestions. Well, first of all, you really have to, as parents, we have to stop coddling the emotions. We are raising children that have such a visceral fear of anything uncomfortable that that their comfort zone is extremely tight, rigid, and narrow. And we have to help them start to reframe what it means to embrace discomfort and embrace fear and embrace change and things like that. Okay, so the second thing that might be worth sharing is really towards the fathers out there. And I think, I believe that the father plays a significant role in raising the character and of young men in this generation. And I think we as parents have outsourced a lot of things. And one thing that I fear is been outsourced more than anything is the role that parents or dads have in establishing appropriate hierarchy and appropriate kind of alpha male role model as it leads to developing children that can see this strength within their parents and see how their parents lead the way in values and in discipline and in mentoring. And I think that as a generation, our boys are looking for new mentors. And I think it's predominantly because the social media generation is louder than the parents and louder than the dads in terms of teaching the values and teaching what it means to be a man. A third piece would be that parents are really afraid to let their children fail, and it's unbelievably detrimental. And you think of children from the age of 3 all the way up to the age of 33, and how failure plays a role in their development, and it is significant. So the younger your child is, the better in teaching them to embrace fear, embrace risk-taking, embrace talking about failure and feedback, and talking about your own stories. Helicopter parenting obviously has been a term used quite a bit recently, and it does encapsulate this inability to let our kids struggle, fall on their face repeatedly, and problem solve their way towards a better future for themselves, as opposed to us jumping in the middle, picking them up, brushing them off, things like that. And I think it has led to a culture of fostering perfectionism. And I think that's it leads to a false sense of identity, a false sense of reality, when I think that perfection is the way that is what I need to compare myself against. And a fourth point would be how I think we have really perpetuated a cycle of justifying excuses and defending our children's excuses, defending who they think they are as it relates to their developmental milestones. And with that is fostering these core values within the family. So parenting is hard, but to do it right takes time and attention and a willingness to take risks and make mistakes as a parent. So we really have between birth to 7 to instill in our children, to entrench in them core values and core belief patterns that are aligned with family and this intrinsic barometer on what is right and wrong. After that time period, it really gets significantly harder. As early as we can, we need to teach our children how to see through limiting beliefs and excuses and practice and demonstrate family values. And for example, in my family, I don't have it all. I definitely don't have it all, but I do try to do certain things a certain way and see if it works. And we've practiced this, that can't is really a bad word. It's as bad as a word as you can say in any language. And can't is something that really helps us shatter belief patterns around limitation. and excuses and things like that. What I also try to do is connect on an eye level with my kids and use phrases that foster family values, such as, in this family, we work together to help each other. In this family, we don't give up. In this family, we make mistakes and we learn from our mistakes and we celebrate our progress through those mistakes. Too many children love their excuses and turn their excuses into beliefs. And that's what we're most afraid of. And that's what happens. I hate to read. I am not a morning person. I hate broccoli. I can't do math. I can't do this. I can't do that. Eventually blends into these entrenched belief patterns that dictate what they can and can't do in terms of future potential. Okay, Coach Murphy here. So we're back talking about the Snowflake Generation and what that means and how to avoid it or how to get out of it and how to change your own baseline as it compares to grit and perseverance and mindset, and how to shift away from what's comfortable and pursue with vigilance and with tenacity your goals, regardless of how it feels and regardless the pain points you see yourself accomplishing. What are the greatest challenges facing this Snowflake generation? Well, I would say in general, it's hard to say, but this is an amazing period of time for young adults. There are unlimited opportunities for personal and professional growth. Schools and parents no longer have the answers. Things are changing too fast. But the fear of this new frontier is crippling this generation from following their hearts and blazing an unconventional career path. Colleges are now a waste of time and money. Most parents know this, but don't know what to do and don't want to admit it. Even high school is becoming obsolete. This is coming from a high school teacher. So what kids are totally stuck in is this FOMO reality, right? It's the fear of missing out. Well, I only need 2 good friends. I do. But I seem to not be able to keep myself away from the hundreds of friends that pull at me moment to moment, day to day, and week to week, and absolutely distract me and make it super hard for me to unplug, ignore, and disengage. This passive engagement with the world through social media and gaming has trained our generation how to be comfortably numb, disengaged from life. Whether it's watching their favorite YouTuber or scrolling through social media feeds, far too many children lose touch with life's affirming responsibilities, priorities, and goals, and therefore get stuck, and fear takes over when it's time to leap and never turn back. Okay, so what to do about this? Well, let's talk about what would I recommend to any teenager parent listening who wants to break through this snowflake mindset. Well, first, I would say get off your ass and start making your own decisions. I see students who just walk through each day numb and really just passively being a lemming, following expectations of those around them, engaging with social media as a way to hide, or at least not have to make any meaningful decisions. So that would be the first thing I'd say. Second is stop making excuses. Get up each morning with purpose and take a cold shower. Wake up and face your fears. It's an amazing way to start your day and to claim it as your own. Number 3 is set some goals that scare the shit out of you. Why not? You only got one life to live. You might as well see what you are capable of. Number 4, look people in the eye. I see in my day job as a teacher, I'm in charge of the crosswalk, making sure no one gets hit by a bus. And I'll tell you, more kids now than ever just do not make eye contact and affirm their place on this planet by engaging with those around them in a meaningful gaze. It's super powerful, and it is necessary as any young adult starts to transition into adulthood. Give firm handshakes. That's a great combination with number 4. When you look people in the eye, give a firm handshake, it absolutely establishes your dominance on this planet and lets people know that you not only give a shit about yourself, but you give a shit about the person you're interacting with. Number 6, tell your parents thank you. It's an element of gratitude, and it starts shaping who you will be in the future by looking at your parents and saying, thank you for helping me to get to where I am. And then you can move with more purpose and gratitude towards the future, whatever that might be. Number 7 is when you leave home, don't come back. And if you do, come back to visit and take your mom and dad out to dinner. Number 8, take on the burden of greater responsibilities. Embrace it, ask for it, demand it. At the age of 4, your child can do more than you imagine. Give them the chance. Chores are the most amazing opportunities to foster grit, family values, and a strong connection to a greater self. I'm going to leave it at 8. You may have others to share. I would love to hear it. Let's keep the conversation going, and let's start moving ourselves away from the snowflake mindset towards unlimited potential. All the best.